Imagine being betrayed by your own brothers, sold as a slave, thrown into prison for a crime you didn't commit. And yet, years later, those same people would stand before you, begging for mercy. This is the incredible story of Joseph, a man whose life proves that what others mean for evil, God can turn into good. Joseph was the beloved son of Jacob. His father loved him so much that he gave him a beautiful coat, a symbol that Joseph was special. But that gift sparked jealousy. Joseph's brothers hated him, and things got worse when Joseph began having strange dreams. In one dream, his brothers' sheaves of grain bowed down to his. In another dream, even the sun, moon, and stars bowed before him. Joseph didn't fully understand it, but his brothers did. To them, it sounded like Joseph believed he would rule over them, and their jealousy turned into something darker. One day, Joseph's father sent him to check on his brothers, who were tending sheep far away. When they saw Joseph coming in the distance, they began plotting. "Here comes the dreamer," they said. At first, they wanted to kill him, but instead, they threw him into a deep pit. Imagine Joseph shouting for help, while his own brothers ignored him. Soon, a caravan of traders passed by, and the brothers made a cruel decision. They sold Joseph as a slave. Then they returned home and lied to their father, saying a wild animal had killed him. Joseph was gone, and his journey into suffering had just begun. Joseph was taken to Egypt and sold to a powerful man named Potiphar. But even in slavery, Joseph remained faithful to God, and everything he did began to succeed. Soon, Potiphar trusted Joseph with everything in his house, but then another disaster struck. Potiphar's wife falsely accused Joseph of wrongdoing. Though Joseph was innocent, he was thrown into prison. Once again, Joseph lost everything. First his family, then his freedom, now his future. But even in prison, God was still with him. While in prison, Joseph gained a reputation for interpreting dreams. 2 prisoners had troubling dreams. Joseph explained their meanings, and his interpretations came true. One of those prisoners was later restored to serve Pharaoh, the ruler of Egypt. Joseph asked him one simple thing: "Remember me when you leave this place?" But the man forgot. 2 more years passed. Joseph remained in prison, waiting. Then one night, Pharaoh had a disturbing dream. None of his advisors could explain it. Suddenly, the former prisoner remembered Joseph. Joseph was quickly brought before Pharaoh. After hearing the dream, Joseph explained its meaning. 7 years of great abundance were coming, but they would be followed by 7 years of terrible famine. Joseph advised Pharaoh to store food during the good years. Pharaoh was amazed. He said, "Can we find anyone like this man, one in whom is the Spirit of God?" And just like that, the prisoner became a ruler. Joseph was appointed second in command over all of Egypt. Years later, the famine spread across many lands. Even Joseph's brothers were starving, so they traveled to Egypt to buy food. But they didn't recognize the powerful ruler standing before them. Joseph recognized them immediately. These were the same men who had betrayed him, the same men who had sold him. Now they stood before him, helpless. Joseph had the power to punish them, but instead, he revealed himself. And through tears, he said something unforgettable. "You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good." Joseph's story reminds us of something powerful. Sometimes life will take you through betrayal, through pain, through seasons where nothing makes sense. But God is still writing your story, because the pit, the prison, and the palace were all part of Joseph's journey. And if God did it for Joseph, he can turn your story around too.